The NBA, the league that I grew up loving and watching for most of my life, is dead. It's no longer the same. This game has gone so far to the side of offense that the product has weakened. And I got to be honest with you, it's not as fun for me watching NBA basketball in this current era as it was just even 10 years ago. Now, the other day I saw a tweet by Kurt Goldsberry and it highlighted what I'm talking about here. In this tweet, it showed the graphic. The 15-16 Los Angeles Lakers, the worst team in the league that season at a 17-65 record, had the worst defense in the league as well, with a defensive rating of 110.3. Now, in this season's NBA, that would rank as the second best defense overall. That just shows you there's no defense anymore. The game has gone so far to the side of offense where it's all about 3-point shooting. It's all about fast break. It's all about, pick and pop and finding a guy outside the 3-point line. And you see teams that have nothing but shooters on their rosters. I mean, think of how many low post threats there are in the game today. There's probably less than 10. I mean, you have Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, maybe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's really good in the low post. After that, you'll be hard pressed to name 5 other guys that have a legitimate low post game to their arsenal. So the game has gotten so, I guess, homogenous is the word that I'm thinking of right now. Every team kind of looks the same. It's just shooters galore. There's hardly a mid-range game in there. You're either trying to get a layup or a three, and the rules and how the game is officiated is so far on the side of offense that I think the product overall has suffered greatly, and it's not as enjoyable for me to watch anymore. Now that piggybacks to watching my specific favorite team, the Lakers, and you know, it's been a rough couple of seasons. I mean, it seems like such a long time ago that the 2020 season happened where there was so much goodwill. Anthony Davis just joined the team, and you saw a roster of 15 players that really played for each other, was motivated to put on a performance night in, night out, and they went on to win the NBA championship. A few bad moves later, a few bad trades later, and now this team is kind of in that purgatory spot where they're pretty good. They'll make a playoff spot maybe, but they're not really going to seriously contend for an NBA championship. I mean, you can look no further than their last couple of games against Denver Nuggets to see that this team is pretty far off from legitimately contending for a title. Now, a lot of Laker fans may disagree with me in that, and they're going to say things like, look at the season LeBron is having. Look at the season Anthony Davis is having. He's finally healthy and playing consistent minutes. If D'Angelo Russell can really become that solidified third scorer, then the Lakers have a chance. We have good pieces around them. Austin Reeves is improving his game. Rui Hachimura is a playoff performer. And, the points go on and on. But I hear just a lot of if, buts, and maybes, okay? And I gotta say, I'm of the opinion, and this may be a very unpopular one amongst Lakers fans, and you guys might kill me in the comments below, but I truly feel like this current era of Lakers basketball is not really gonna win a championship anymore, and they should probably hit the reset button before it's too late and we get sent down this decade of just absolute shit basketball like we saw in the 2010s decade, right? And I have a couple of reasons for that. First, you have the relationship between this roster and the head coach. And yes, Darvin Ham has been much maligned by Lakers fans over recent years, and I think rightfully so. I do have a little bit of sympathy for Darvin because, I mean, one, who's going to turn down, an offer to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? You're not going to say no to that. So I could understand why Darvin took the job. I just think that he should have never been offered the job. You don't hire a first-time head coach to coach a quote unquote win now Lakers team with LeBron and AD who are near, if not near, past their prime already. So he was in a lose-lose situation. He's not done himself any favors by some of the ineptitude that he's shown as a head coach. I look no further than what I mentioned earlier. Just those games against the Nuggets, the last 6-7 games that they've played, right? Including the Western Conference Finals and these regular season matchups that we've seen against Denver. It's been close, close, close. And then the last 5 minutes, the Lakers crumble and they just look like they have no rhythm, like they have no plan, like they're totally improvising out there. Well, while on the flip side, you have a Nuggets team that is so well drilled, is a smooth, well-oiled machine, and you see their team, and every guy looks like they know what they're doing, and the role players are confident enough to take big-time shots, which is the opposite of the Lakers, where it's like a hot potato, pass it to LeBron and hope that he bails us out in the last 5 seconds of a shot clock. There's a stark difference there, and I think a lot of that has to fall into the hands of Darvin Ham in terms of responsibility. So one, the coach and player dynamic, I just don't think is good enough. Secondly, you have the two best players, LeBron and AD. On an individual level, statistically, they're having pretty good seasons. I mean, LeBron is shooting like 40% from three, which is outrageous, to be honest with you. Yes, 39 years old and he's still doing his thing, but 39 years old is still 39 years old. Let me tell you that. And going back to those Nuggets games, it just seemed like LeBron always ran out of gas towards the end. I mean, this most recent one, there was a possession where he was driving to the basket and the ball just slipped out of his hands and he turned it over. I attribute that to fatigue. I attribute that to being tired. And it's not completely LeBron's fault. I mean, he's asked to do so much for the Lakers in terms of carrying the offense. But at this stage in his career, I mean, he needs more help to see games through towards the end. And I don't know that there's enough players to do that for him, or if he's even in the mindset of allowing someone else to do that. I just don't know. It's in a difficult spot. Whenever you have an aging superstar on your team, there's always this awkward stage where it's like, I'm still the man, but am I really still the man like I was 5 years ago? I'm not sure. So there's that whole dynamic of LeBron and Anthony Davis in this stage where they're kind of on the other side of the hill and kind of heading towards not being in their prime anymore. And then you have the rest of the roster, which, look, D'Angelo Russell, he's a polarizing figure in Lakerland. Some people think he's totally good enough to be the third guy. Some people wanted him traded at the deadline. I look at his performances, and I'm always of the mindset when it comes to D'Lo that you got to show me something in the playoffs. He can put up all of these great performances in the regular season and shoot incredibly well from three, but when it comes to the playoffs, that's when I want to see you make your mark, because historically he's not been a good playoff performer. You look no further than the Western Conference Finals this previous season to pinpoint that, right? So he can do all that he wants in the regular season, have these fantastic performances, but I want to see it in May and hopefully June. But he hasn't, throughout his career shown that he's capable of doing that yet. So I'm not the most confident there. And then the rest of the team, look, I don't know. I mean, there's okay pieces. I really like Austin Reeves. I like Rui Hachimura, but is that good enough to go toe-to-toe against the Denver Nuggets team? Is that good enough to go toe-to-toe against even a Clippers team, or if they make it to the finals, a Celtics team? I don't know. I give the Lakers a very slim chance of winning the NBA title, and I think that sentiment is going to remain there as long as we have a team with LeBron and Anthony Davis as the core. Now, you might say that that's unfair and that this upcoming summer they'll make a trade and get a third star like a Trae Young, which has been rumored for quite a while, to help LeBron and AD. And you guys might be right, but At this moment in time, I find it incredibly difficult. There is that thing called Lakers tax where every team wants to get the maximum out of the Lakers when it comes to a trade. So there's that as well. How much confidence do you have in Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka at this moment in time to turn this thing around? I think Rob has done enough to grant him a little bit more time, a little bit more faith, because he did bring a championship to this franchise under his watch. So there's that. But right now, I just feel like we're in this limbo stage where I don't feel very confident in this team. I don't feel very excited about the championship aspirations and hopes of the Los Angeles Lakers. And I think it's going to remain that way as long as this core is intact until something crazy happens, which, look, the last crazy trade was Russell Westbrook, and, that didn't really work out the way we wanted it to. So that, in conjunction with the overall product of the NBA not being as great as it was just 10 years ago. Like, for me, the golden era of the NBA was 96 to 2016, which coincidentally was the career span of my favorite player, Kobe Bryant. But I honestly do feel like that was the golden era of the NBA. I mean, you had Jordan and the Bulls there. You had Shaq and Kobe with the Lakers. You had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and even Kevin Durant with the Golden State Warriors. You had the San Antonio Spurs throughout that period. So for me, that was like the golden era of NBA basketball. And now we're kind of in this period where it's not that great. And one can only hope that history will swing the pendulum back to, a product where there is a good balance between offense and defense. And we'll see more varied styles of play. We'll see more emphasis on, rebounding, shot blocking, low post offense, low post defense, instead of just pick and rolls and threes. So I can only hope that will be the case. But right now, basketball is just not as fun for me, which is why I haven't been making a lot of YouTube videos. And my Lakers are also, on that side of just not being as enjoyable for me to watch. I mean, I still am watching the games, but talking about it, it's just, I could sit up here and make a video every day, but it'll be the same thing. Yeah, the Lakers are okay, but are they good enough? No. Yeah, the NBA is still fun, but is it as fun as it once was? No. So that's where I am right now. Let me know if you feel the same. But yeah, that's the end of my rant. Thank you for watching. Please like the video. See you next time.